Hi, my name is Beth Burgess and I'm a recovery coach at Smiles. Now, have you ever wondered why you seem to make the same mistakes over and over again? Maybe you find that you're dating the wrong sort of person and you keep on doing it, or maybe you've found that you've started using an unhealthy coping mechanism and you just can't seem to stop doing that. Well, there are a few elements to why this happens. There's something called repetition compulsion, which was actually a term which was coined by Freud, the psychologist, and he said it was like a desire to return to an earlier state of things, an earlier state of being. Now, there might be several reasons why you might be doing this, and he had some theories, but I've got some theories of my own. I think the reason why we tend to get sort of ingrained in patterns is due to a few things. Now, firstly, sometimes we're not even aware that we do it. So this is certainly the case with relationships. It might be that everyone else on the outside can see it and they can go, why is she with him? He's just like so-and-so. And, you can't see it yourself. And that's because you have a lack of awareness. You don't even realise what sort of person you're going for. So one of the keys to solving it is becoming aware of these patterns. Now, the second part of it, the reason why we do things like this, is usually because we've learned that this is some kind of situation in which we're sort of bound to be in a way, and that's usually because of a past experience. So, for example, if you tend to go for partners who aren't really nice to you, it's usually due to some kind of low self-esteem issue that you've picked up, maybe during experiences in childhood or when you were growing up. Where you've kind of accepted a certain type of behaviour when you were younger, and then you continue to accept it as you get older because, you're reinforcing the cycle. Each time you accept that behaviour, the more likely it is you'll accept it again. So that's really important. But what about things like, a lot of us do self-destructive things and we kind of return to them over and over again. What about that? I think that a lot of this is to do with not having found the meaning in whatever the lesson is that we have to learn. We haven't learned what that is yet. So if you're repeating destructive patterns, it's likely that, again, something triggered that off earlier on in your life, and it's important for you to find out what it is so that you can kind of finally let the pattern go when you find out what the lesson is and the meaning you're supposed to derive from it. And this is the same with sort of troubling thoughts that tend to return to us. A lot of people get this, where you get the sort of same troubling thoughts over and over again. And I think the important thing there, again, is to really look for the meaning within them before you can actually let them go. With other people, coping mechanisms are things which are repeated a lot. And that's kind of because, firstly, it's a case of not knowing what else to do. For example, addictions are a good example of this. I had several addictions, which I no longer have, and it was very hard. Once you're in addiction, it is very difficult to get out of it. But the reason why you kind of set yourself up for an addiction and kind of progress it until the very end, which I did, is because you can't sort of see any other way of doing things. So, and every time you kind of tell yourself as well, you're kind of stuck in this, as Freud said, this earlier state of being. There's something called euphoric recall, where you remember the times where, your coping mechanism wasn't as damaging to you. So maybe you recall the times when you had fun drinking and you continue drinking, or maybe with eating as well. I know when I was a kid I could eat whatever I wanted, and that's not the case now. So it's kind of, again, it's a lack of acceptance around the true state of affairs. And I think by learning what the truth is and becoming aware of that and really accepting that, that enables you to move on and realise that there's a different way to be. So I hope some of that's helped you. Do give my video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye.